Hi, this is Amy from the Learning Lab, and today we're going to talk about how to make a Jacob's Ladder toy, how they work, and how you can make your own. Pickup supply for this will start tomorrow on Thursday, and it will also be on Tuesday from 10 to 3 in the adult garden while supplies last. So let's get started. So first of all, what is a Jacob's Ladder toy? So these are one of the oldest toys known. There are even rumors that it was found in King Tut's tomb, but there is no historical evidence to back that up. They've been called magic tablets and click-clack toys, and there are actually, if you search on Wikipedia for the Jacob's Ladder toy, you will find an article from the newspaper in like the 1950s showing how to do tricks with it. So when you fold over a block, it looks like all of the other blocks or squares are switching places, but that's an optical illusion. So let's take a look at how it works. This is my video, and I'm going to start in a minute. Just so you know, yours is going to be all of these different pieces of colored paper and prettier ribbons than I had. So let's start the video, and we'll be talking about these pictures on the right hand side of the screen as we watch. So as you can see, I have like two squares from a Jacob's Ladder toy that I've drawn there. And the top of the second square is red. And you're going to see in the side views running down next to it, there's going to be a red square on one of those square sides, just to show you how it moves. So in the first picture on the top, you're going to see that the first square is moving over to the second square, like what's happening in the video. And then when the bottoms of those two squares touch, it actually switches the ribbon. So then you'll see on the third one that that second square starts to clack down, for lack of a better term, and that whole thing just keeps going forward until the end of the Jacob's Ladder. So now we're going to talk about how to make our own. Now I have much uglier stuff because I wanted to show you the difference between my fronts and backs. For you guys, I would suggest maybe drawing like a check mark or a little star or something on the pieces that you will be using as the insides of your square sandwiches. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so let's start. So my first picture is the inside. So that's the bottom half of my sandwich. And each of these Jacob Ladder squares is actually two pieces of paper or cardboard. And it's got a set of ribbons. The ribbons that you're using, those are in between each one of those squares. So I'm going to put some glue down, and I put down two ribbons facing one way, two facing the other way. Now, just a quick caution, you can use glue, you can use tape. Make sure that you get them so that they're kind of close to the end, but don't use so much glue that you're smushing out glue everywhere when you close them up, because that's going to make it really messy. It's not going to be a crisis if you do. It just is a little bit more tricky to take them apart when you're getting them ready to dry. So just to repeat, we've got the bottom of our cardboard sandwich. We laid on two ribbons going one direction and one ribbon facing the other direction. Now I'm going to place the top half of my sandwich. So you can see all that is just me putting the top piece of cardboard on. And then I do the same thing in reverse. So I lay my two ribbons that are sticking out one way, lay them over the other way, lay the one going the other way. And then that does not have glue at all because that's the top of my sandwich. And then I'm going to put down another piece of cardboard with my glue side facing up. You're going to glue it, going to overlap it, and then I'm just going to put the top half of my sandwich back on, and we're going to do that a bunch more times. So that's actually going to be repeated 5 times so that you wind up with 6 squares, all with two 2 pieces of paper for each square, and each square has the ribbons inside it and over top of it. And when you're done with that, you can come on back here and we'll talk about the next steps. Okay, so now you can see I've done all of my sandwiching. And now I'm just going to gently move all of my Jacob Ladders squares so that they're lying next to each other instead of on top of each other, because they'll wind up drying a little bit more easily if you are using glue. If you're using tape, that's fine. Just make sure that you've used enough tape to keep everything together. In this picture, I'm actually showing what happened when I laid it out. I wound up with one of my sandwich tops not sticking to the sandwich bottom. So I just gently flipped it over and put it back on, let it dry. If you don't let it dry enough, you're just going to wind up with a bunch of soggy pieces coming off, and it's going to be a really sad situation. So don't let that happen to you. At this point, when you've just set it out, it's a good time to wipe off any extra glue. When you're done, when everything's kind of done drying, or even before, you can just go through the tops of your sandwiches on both sides and make sure that you haven't glued any of the tops. Now, even if it is dry, if you're just using regular like Elmer's glue or something, you can just pull it off gently and it's going to be fine. So just make sure you're not glued. You'll also find that out pretty quickly if you're trying to use your Jacob's ladder and it is not going well. So I'm just going to go back quick to the video just to show you really quickly how I hold it. So I hold it with both hands on the sides, just because I feel like that gives me a better way to hold it. If you've placed your ribbons a little loosely, they can kind of wander off the sides. So you want to make sure that everything's kind of stacked up before you start. It should work just fine. You might find that your paper wants to separate. You should use more glue or tape. And I hope you let me know how this goes. I hope you let me know if you've enjoyed it. And have a wonderful day. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.